A very good morning to my dear 10th standard students. Let us go ahead with the political science chapter. We had started with the chapter working of the constitution. Before we go ahead with the chapter, let us do a recap of all the things we studied in the previous class. We studied about the definition of constitution. It is a set of rules and principles according to which a country is formed or governed. We also did that the Constitution focuses on three areas. The first one was democracy. We studied about political maturity, why the majority of the people in the country is essential for successful democracy. We understood the importance of right to vote. We also studied about the decentralization of democracy or distribution of power in the country, which has to be done equally. And we also studied about the right to information RTI, which was given by the Constitution to the people in the year 2005. Today we will be going ahead with the chapter. We will study the second area of Constitution, that is social justice and equality. What is social justice and what is equality? They are the main objectives of the Constitution. They both are connected to each other. You will be asking me, Miss, how are they connected to each other? I'll give you a very easy example. Children, let us take an example of the festivals which are celebrated in our country. Whether it is Eid, whether it is Diwali, whether it is Christmas, all such festivals are given holidays by the government. This is one of the way of having social justice and equality in the country, giving each and every religion respect, treating them equally is what the objective of the Constitution. The Constitution aims to establish a new society based on these two values. If the society has the principle of social justice and equality present in it, the society will be a very good place to live in. While I was going through this chapter, this was a question which came into my mind, that how can we establish social justice? The answer is by removing social evils and by stressing on equality for everyone. How can we remove social evil? We can remove social evils. That social evils are the social norms, the bad norms which are present in the society, which says that our religion is great and the other religion is not good. All such things are social evils. And by stressing on equality for everyone, if every individual is given equal opportunity, equality will be maintained in the society. The principle of justice and equality aims at some things. Let us see what are that. These are ending discrimination which is present in the society on the basis of caste, religion, gender, language, and race, and many more. And the second one is by giving equal opportunities for development, that is, giving everyone an equal chance for the development. In other words, if I say, for example, if there is a job vacancy in any of the institution, this job should be given to that person who deserves it, irrespective of the caste, irrespective of the religion, irrespective of the language, irrespective of anything. Only the merit should be given importance. If he is qualified for that, it has to be given. Now we move on to the efforts put on by the government to establish social justice and equality in the country. Children, the government has made many efforts at all levels. The first effort is policy of reservation of seats. There are certain seats which are reserved for some group of people. What are that? These seats are reserved for those sections of society which are deprived of education and employment for a long, long period of time. So the first step put on by the government is it has made a policy of reservation of seat. Some seats are reserved for those section of society which are left behind, and these sections are left behind in terms of education and employment, and that is why seats are reserved for them so that they can get a chance to come ahead. Seats are reserved for The seats are reserved in educational institution and in government services also. But for whom? It has been reserved for those people who belong to scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and the backward classes people. Why all these thing is done? Again I am repeating, so that the people belonging to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, and backward class, these people can be pushed forward, and if every section of the society are given equal opportunities, in all, what is going to happen? The country is only going to develop. The second step is the Scheduled Caste and Tribe Prevention of Atrocities Act. This is a very important act for establishing social justice and equality. This act prevents injustice against the people belonging to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Atrocity committed liable for punishment means if they find any person not giving respect or not treating in a good way to the people belonging to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, they are given punishment by the constitution. Then we move on to the next step put on by the government for the provision for minorities. First of all, let us understand what do you mean by minorities. Minority means the group of people who are less in number. Okay, children? In a country, a group of people who are in larger numbers, they becomes majority. And in the country where a group of people are less in number as compared to other people, they are called as minorities. So the government has made provision for minorities also. Let us see what are they. The constitution has made several provisions for the protection of minorities. What have they done? They have adopted several policies which helps them or which gives them opportunity in education field and in employment field. The Indian Constitution has also prohibits the Indian Constitution prohibits discrimination on the basis of caste, religion, language, region, and etc. It has also provided them with provision that is called as comprehensive provision, and this comprehensive provision helps or protects their rights. And which are those rights? The right to equality, the right to freedom, the right against exploitation, and the cultural and educational rights. All these rights are protected of the minorities. Okay, they must be treated equally. They are given equal freedom. Any exploitation against them, the person will be punished for it. And cultural and educational right, they are allowed to enjoy their festival, and even they are given equal opportunities in the field of education. Now let us see what are the laws made by the government in terms of women. There are certain rights which the government has provided the women. The first right is right or equal share in the property of father and husband. The Domestic Violence Prohibition Act, it's a very big crime to uh, it's a very big crime to harass the women in at home also. That is called as domestic violence. Treating women badly at home come under domestic violence. If any person found guilty, the person or the whole family will be liable for punishment. The next one is Act Against Sexual Harassment. There are many social evils present in the society, such as eve teasing, rape, disrespecting women. All such things come under sexual harassment. So, if the people found guilty, they are also liable for punishment. We move on to Violence Prohibition Act. This act is for protection of women. It helps in securing dignity and self-esteem of the women in the society. It has also rejected traditional form, all the old belief it has rejected. Only the modern belief is accepted, and it has helped in expanding the scope of democracy. When each and every section of the society is treated equally, obviously the scope of democracy will expand. Children, now it's time to move on to the third area of constitution, that is the judicial system. What is a judicial system? The judicial system of India is the law and rules made for the welfare of the people. Do you do you think, children, laws and rules are important? Yes. If there is no law and no rule, people will do whatever they want, and this will create a chaos in the society. And hence there should be a limitation, and hence there should be a law and rule which everyone must follow. The judicial system includes the Supreme Court, the High Court, and the District Court. Now let us study the role of judiciary. The role of judiciary is very important as it helps in strengthening the democracy and also for establishing social justice and equality in the society. What is the contribution of judiciary? The basic framework of the Constitution. Let us understand this topic. The first point says that Constitution is dynamic, it is big. It is a living document. It is living, it is alive. Changes can be done in it. Constitution can change according to changing situation. The constitution of the country, we can do changes, but these changes should be within limitation. Parliament has given the power, the Parliament has given the power to do the changes in the constitution, but the next point says that the judiciary has specified certain or some limitation to the Parliament. This is also very important. If there are no limitations set, what is going to happen? The ruling government, whichever ruling government comes, they can do any change in the constitution which will not be good for certain section of the society, and that is why the judiciary has specified certain limitation to the Parliament, which says that you can do the changes but within the limitation. The changes done in the constitution should not harm the structure or should not harm any group, should not harm the mentality of any group of society. It should be within the limitation. It cannot alter the basic structure of the constitution. The second one is significant judicial decision. What are the decisions made by the judicial system? Some of the important subjects, or we can say the court has given judgment, which includes right of children, protection of human rights, protection of honor and dignity of women, individual freedom, And the last one is the tribal empowerment. So our judicial system has given, they have passed judgment on the topic of rights of children, on protection of human rights, protection of honor and dignity of women, individual freedom, and tribal empowerment. So in this chapter, what did we study? We studied about the constitution and the working of the government on the basis of the constitution in the context of Indian democracy. Children, um, I hope you have understood the chapter. If there are any changes, if there are any doubts in it, please write it down. Inshallah, when we meet, I will solve all your doubts. Thank you.